And unfortunately now with where artists are going with our industry is that people just want the opportunity and they want to do anything to get the opportunity, and that may mean taking their price down or offering services for free or becoming friends with the clients or being at the club with them or being the masseuse to the client when you're the makeup artist or like all kind of crazy shit that I've noticed that it makes it hard for us because then those celebrities will expect that from the you and the me and the whoever else when it's like, no ma'am, I don't know what type of fooly wang you was dealing with, but this ain't what it is over here. And I'm gonna do your makeup and I'm gonna go.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get real answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. My name is Aquia Robinson, and I'm a makeup artist, beauty educator, and the creator of Friends in Beauty. I created Friends in Beauty to support like-minded creatives, just like you, on their quest to connect, network, and build genuine relationships within the beauty community. Join me every week as me and my special guests reveal the keys to success and longevity in the beauty industry, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I'm so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. If you are a friend in beauty, I welcome you to join the Friends in Beauty Facebook community. If you're looking for a community of like-minded, ambitious friends in beauty to virtually connect with, network, and share resources, then click the link down below in the show description to join the Friends in Beauty Facebook community, and I'll be there to welcome you with open arms. Also, follow Friends in Beauty on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty. What I like to do is something called the Friends in Beauty Friday feature, where every Friday I spotlight a different friend in beauty and their accomplishments. So no matter how big or small you think it is, I want to shout you out. I want to send you some good vibes. So all you have to do is use the hashtag FIB Friday feature and tag Friends in Beauty on something that you have accomplished, and I will share it with the Friends in Beauty community. Additionally, the Friends in Beauty podcast is available on several platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Google, you name it. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? We just launched. But no matter what platform you are listening from, I just want to say thank you and just express gratitude for you taking the time to tune in to the Friends in Beauty podcast. I really, really appreciate you. And I would appreciate it even further if you took the time to leave a 5-star rating, a review, like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast, because I just want to know what you feel. I want to know your thoughts about the Friends in Beauty podcast. So if you have the opportunity to do that on the platform you are listening from, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, join the Friends in Beauty mailing list tribe. My mailing list tribe is the first to know about all things Friends in Beauty, and I send out different resources throughout the week. So that's something that you're interested in as well. That link will be down below in the show description. And lastly, the most important thing, share the Friends in Beauty podcast with your other friends in beauty, your family, your friends, anybody that you think could benefit from the information that is being shared here. Share away to help me grow the Friends in Beauty community. Now, on today's episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast, I welcome Alexandra Butler to the Friends in Beauty guest chair. Alex, known for her blending techniques, flawless applications, and natural use of color, has developed a beauty aesthetic that spans across various print and film genres. Her collaboration with various makeup brands, television series, fashion, and award shows has helped to promote beauty trends amongst people of all ages and nationalities. Her thorough understanding of facial structures, skin types, complexions, and product attributes, coupled with her thoughtful approach in her application, position herself as a leading makeup artist in the industry. With an ever-increasing presence in all forms of media, coupled with her authentic and consistent interaction with her fan base, has solidified her as a highly influential and impactful figure in the beauty world. Over the last decade, Alex has demonstrated her ability to monetize her influence for a wide array of brands such as Black Radiance Beauty, McGrath Labs, Milani Cosmetics, and Anastasia, Beverly Hills, to name a few. With a vast array of experiences, including being a set production key makeup artist and creative director, has allowed her in-depth knowledge of not only the beauty, but also the business of makeup. Versatility, Quality and timeless beauty aesthetic are the core of Alex's work within the beauty industry. A makeup artist staking her claim in the industry, Alexandra Butler is an artist for the everyday woman on the go, the celebrity on the rise, or the icon influencing the masses. I was so excited to interview Alex for the Friends and Beauty podcast. Now, when I first started the Friends and Beauty podcast, I wrote down a master list of people that I just wanted to interview, that I just needed to interview, and Alex was definitely on that list. In this episode, we talked about so much. You already know when I have the opportunity to interview a senior artist on the Friends of Beauty podcast, I have to get like all of the tea out of them. So in this episode, we talked about so much, just from being yourself, monetizing your influence as a makeup artist, working with celebrities, her experience with working with Black Radiance, being on the TV show Glam Masters, working on Coming to America, rates, just everything. We talked about so much in this interview, and I'm just so appreciative for Alex's time. She is one of my favorite makeup artists, and I just admire just how she's always open to share her knowledge and how she has no filter. She speaks her mind, and that is just something that I truly admire about Alex. And of course, she's a bomb makeup artist too. So without further ado, I'm going to let you go ahead and jump into this interview with Alex. It is truly a good one. You are going to want to take some notes, and you're going to want to listen to this episode more than one time. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this interview with Alex Butler. Enjoy. Welcome to the Friends and Beauty podcast, Alex.
Welcome, Clea.
I'm so excited to have you. Of course, I've been following you probably since the beginning of me doing makeup. I started 8 years ago, and I just love your aesthetic so much as an artist. And I also adore how you're always able to just speak your mind, like no filter, like you just let people have it or just voice your opinion so freely. And I really admire that about you. So I'm so happy to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we're going to go ahead and start off with some icebreaker questions so the Friends and Beauty audience can get to know you a little bit outside of makeup. Okay. So the first one is, give us 3 random facts about you.
Oh, they have nothing to do with makeup?
Yeah, nothing to do with makeup.
My God. Okay. One random fact is that, let's see here. I think that I am a dog groomer. As far as maybe in a former life, I handled the dogs perhaps because I give my doggie her bath, but I cut her hair and I cut her nails, and so I've had it to where some friends have asked me to do their dogs, and
okay.
I have to turn it down because me and Bea, how we get through it is not ethical, but we get through it. So I don't want to do that to nobody else's dog. So that's one thing. I am a tomboy to the core. I do not really like wearing makeup. I don't like doing things too girly, which is a surprise because being in the makeup industry, people automatically assume that you like glam and you like all the hoopla, and I'm the total opposite. And yeah, I played basketball all up and through college, to the first 2 years of college, and definitely a tomboy. What else? That's not, I want something crazy, like, well, I mean, this isn't crazy, but it's a surprise. I'm actually an introvert. Well, not really an introvert. Yeah, kind of an introvert. As I've gotten older, I've realized that I am more introverted than I seem to put on. Everybody sees the personality as like, hey, which that is the personality. But when it comes down to it, I could definitely sit at the house and like be with nobody, talk to nobody, and just be alone with myself, my dog, and my husband, and call it a day. So, but I can turn on when I need to, of course, and be that other person. But to the core now, at this point, I'm definitely introverted.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to realize that about myself too. Like, I don't consider myself like a shy person, but I'm definitely like reserved, but I can turn it on and turn it off. I do enjoy like just being by myself a lot.
Yes. And that's a good thing. That means you enjoy yourself and that you're happy with yourself. So
absolutely. So what do people always tell you that you're good at aside from makeup?
People always tell, so I don't know if it's the Leo in me, but we tend to think that we're good at everything, which I think I am. But people always tell me I'm good at being a friend and I'm good at being a companion to others. The friends that I've had since grade school. I've had friends come and go, along the process, just from growing in and out of friendships. But I'm a really, really good friend, a really, really good person, very, very loyal. Very much so will give you the shirt off my back, but like not in like a codependent type way, but in a way where it's like, instead of me giving you the shirt, how about I teach you how to make the shirt? That way you could never ever have to ask anyone to give you a shirt off their back ever again. So like, I'm a really, really good person when it comes to being around people and loving on people and caring for people and being very compassionate.
Yeah, Leos are like that. All of the Leos I know in my life, those are like they're always there for you. Like they show up and show out for you for sure.
Yes. If you're not careful, it's to a fault. That's why I say in a non-codependent way, because you don't want it to be a toxic relationship, but you want it to be like, okay, I can count on that person for sure.
So the next one I'm going to pull from my pod decks. I got these as a Christmas gift, a whole bunch of them.
Oh, cute.
Let's see. I have two. Which one do I want to ask?
Give me the juiciest one. I can take it.
Would you rather never celebrate your birthday again or never drink alcohol again?
Oh, boy. Wow. You hit me with the heat on that one. Probably never celebrate my birthday. Because I like to drink. I like to have a cocktail or 3 or 4, maybe even more. And then as you get older, you don't forget I'm very much so about my birthday, but as you get older, you kind of be like, what day is it again? Like, okay, like I'll celebrate every day. So yeah. I got to keep my liquor. I got to keep my liquor now.
I feel you. If you could give a piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I get asked this question all the time, and I always try to figure out a different piece of advice to give my younger self. I think that appreciate the hard times, because I feel like appreciating the hard times, first of all, you're going to go through hard times, but going through the hard times and like really appreciating them allows you to learn and grow and gives you an opportunity to better yourself, versus being like, oh my God, I'm going through this, like this sucks. And you kind of harp on the bad stuff versus doing that. I think it's good to just be like, okay, I'm going through this for a reason. No matter what, God is going to have me taken care of. So it's not a bad thing that I'm going through bad stuff. But I think that just being like appreciating the things and being able to come out on the other end a little bit more positive would have been helpful to me, because I think I'm emotional, I'm really into whatever I'm doing. And sometimes you can get caught up in it, and it can take you down sometimes. Like it can really, be a detriment to you. So I think just appreciating those hard times, going through them with a positive mindset, and just setting yourself up for the next best steps in your life.
Yes, I love that. So the last icebreaker is, if you weren't a makeup artist right now, what other career could you see yourself doing?
So there's a couple of there's a couple of options. I used to be an engineer, but I definitely don't want to do that at all, like never. I used to want to be a boxer, which is weird.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not cool at all, because it's because not that I like to fight, but I got hands pretty good, so that's probably why I wanted to be a boxer. But if I could not be a makeup artist, what would I be? I don't know. Let me think. Something good. I would probably be some painter living off in Italy that like does like all these landscape paintings and sits there and like eats food while they're painting. Like it's just a whole thing. But you don't get paid, but I would be having a nice substantial life that I'd be living. And I wouldn't have to worry about money, because I'm just in Italy just eating stuff. You wouldn't even worry about it. So I would just be some kind of creative artist or painter or sculptor or something like that.
Okay, that's not bad. Shoot, living off the land, just freely painting.
And I still may. You never know.
Yeah, I love that.
You never know.
Thank you for sharing those answers. We learned so much about you in that little bit of time. But we'll go ahead and jump into the interview. So I want to know, because I don't know that much about you. Like, I met you one time in person, ran into you at the makeup show.
New York. Yep.
And just watching you online. So I really want to know. I know you're from St. Louis, right? Originally.
Yes.
So how did your makeup journey begin? And like, how did your journey in the beauty industry begin? And how did that lead you to moving to Atlanta?
Oh boy. So I love to tell this story because it's such a like a triumphant, like overcoming type of story. And it always gives people hope and just aspirations to do whatever it is the hell you want to do. Oh, can I curse?
Yeah, you can be yourself, girl.
Like I wasn't now, Okay. Anywho, I'll try not to do as much. But anywho, so like I said, I used to be an engineer from St. Louis. I've always been very artistic, like when it came to drawing and painting and stuff like that, because my father's side of the family is very artistic. My grandmother, my granddaddy was a cake baker. My grandmother was sketched. My daddy sketched architectural stuff. So the art in me was always in me. But I never thought that like it would be like a career thing, because growing up they were like, you gonna do art, like, girl, how you gonna pay your bills for that? That's why I said if I could be an artist I would do it. So that was always in the back of my mind, but I was practical in the sense of, well, you got to do something that's gonna make money. So I went to school, got my degree in industrial engineering, and moved to Indiana, and hated it, like literally hated it. And so I got fired from my job at the time, just got married. This was 2008. And right before I got married, though, I was like, okay, I need to get my makeup done. We got married in Jamaica, and I didn't know who was going to do my makeup in Jamaica. And I was like, I feel like I can do my own makeup. Like at the time, YouTube was doing its thing, but not like how it's doing it now. Yeah. I said, I can watch a couple tutorials and maybe I could, practice or whatever the case. And I did I filmed my own tutorial, which it's still on YouTube to this day. And was like, I'm not a makeup artist or anything, but let me just try some stuff out. And I filmed myself. And girl, I was getting responses from people. Honey, I had 2 and 3 subscribers, and I was happy and geeked. And so I was like, okay, that's cute or whatever. Didn't think of it as it being a career. So when I got fired from my job, I was like, I enjoy makeup. Like I had been making videos at the time. Why can't this be like a thing, And so I applied to the MAC counter in Indiana, in South Bend, Indiana, and got the job as a freelancer, and only had one chance or one time at the counter. And I was like in love. I was like, this is, I want to do this forever. Mm-hmm. So I was like, Mario, my husband, I said, let's move to Atlanta. And he was like, to do what? And I'm like, I'm going to be a makeup artist. And he's like, you don't have any experience. You ain't got no product. Like, where did this come from? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Let's go. So he was like, okay, fine. So we moved to Atlanta. I got here and realized that I need money. And we were staying with my uncle at the time. So we needed our own place. And so I got another job in the same field that I was in, industrial engineering. And was there again, hated it again, was fired within 3 or 4 months. Mm-hmm. But at the time I was so happy to just be in Atlanta, because to me, this is Black Hollywood. I see beautiful women, beautiful men, like just, it was a true Blackness about Atlanta. And then for me to have my little foot in the door with makeup was like, okay, I can push this some more. So I applied at the MAC counter, got that job, was doing little freelance here and there for free. Mm-hmm. I was working for free for a long time. And I just was in love with it. It really was amazing. So as the years grew on, I was at the MAC counter, more and more experiences occurred. Ended up getting fired from the MAC counter. And then that was the push I needed to freelance full time. And that was in 2012. So all great experiences from that, bad ones as well. Mm-hmm. But it was really a story of, if somebody pushes you out of an opportunity, or you get fired, or somebody quits you or whatever, that is no way for you to stop doing anything and just to keep pushing, like trust the process, basically. Right. So that's how I got here. And it's been, it's been lovely ever since, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. It's so many similarities in like how I got started to like getting, like having a job. I got my degree, got a job, just working wherever, because I couldn't find a job. I got hired around the recession. I got my degree around the recession time from college. It was very hard to find a job. So I did the same thing, kind of had jobs, got fired, and I'm glad I did. It led me here. So
period. That's right. And it's your calling, because you're amazing at it. So yeah.
Thank you. So how did you go about like building your beauty business in a new city? And then like right before social media was I guess social media was kind of revving up at that time, or
kind of, yes. Instagram started like 2012.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you go about building your business and everything, and a name for yourself in a new city, and then prior to the social media boom?
So I was always very much so this big personality. Like I told you, I'm a Leo. So I've always had this, whether it was right or wrong, whether it was like uncouth or not, or couth, whatever. I just was always this person. And so when it translated into being a makeup artist, this personality, or who I am, was that same thing. So I made sure that when I had my YouTube page, or when I started on Facebook or started on Instagram or whatever, I stayed true to who I was to the core, outside of makeup, like just who I am just every day. And by doing that, I was able to almost take people along this journey with me. With social media allows you to be able to be so close with others that you don't know or interact with people that you don't know. And so to be able to take people on that journey with me, people kind of grew with me. And I didn't know at the time that that's creating a platform. Like, we didn't call it that back then. I just was like, hey, this is what I'm talking about. People of people who were genuinely like wanting to know about me or wanting to know what I was doing. And it wasn't just about makeup or like the physical tasks I was doing. It was just like, what about your hair? Oh, what kind of earrings you got on? What about your dog? What about it was just everything. And so when Instagram kicked in, I took that same stuff to Instagram and did it the same way, and really grew an authentic, engaging following, because it's more than just makeup for me. As you know, makeup, like I told you before, makeup is what I do. It's not really my who I am necessarily.
Right.
But being around people, helping people, talking to people, having fun, like that's kind of who I am. And so I'm able to build my platform based off of me being authentically me. And so that's why sometimes it's hard, because you're sensitive, you know, you put yourself out there. And so when people bite at it or act crazy towards it, you're like, what the hell? You're like that. But then I've been able to grow a very, very tough skin, because this is how I've been my entire life. So, you know, it just comes with the territory.
Got you. Yeah. What kind of challenges did you face in your business as a makeup artist in the beginning versus the kind of challenges you have now? Because I always tell people it's levels. Like, you're always going to have challenges. They just might, you know, differ a little bit.
That part. In the very beginning, I took everything personal. You don't want to work with me because I cost too much. I'm taking that personal. You don't want to work with me because I'm Black. I'm taking that personal. Like, I would take everything that anyone would do as far as it not being something that I agree with. I would take it personal. And that almost can eat you up inside. And what Erykah Badu was the one to say, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Like, that was me to the core. And lots of artists are. I just have realized, and working at the counter taught me to not take things personal, because you would be at the counter and someone would come in like, I want to buy a lipstick, and they would throw the card at you, and you'd be like, you just met me, so I know it ain't me that got you angry to throw a card. So I learned at the counter that, like, people are going through whatever they're going through. People have to make decisions based off of whatever they need to make decisions based off. A lot of the times, most of the time, 99.9% of the times, it has nothing to do with you as a person. It's just whatever they got to do. So I had to learn that, of course, the hard way sometimes. But that's something that early on, like, bothered me a lot. Now it doesn't bother me as much. I still am human. So, you know, you still take things kind of personal, especially if people are personally attacking you.
Right.
But that's not really an issue. I think now the challenge that I sometimes face from doing this for so long is rediscovering, not rediscovering yourself, but like making sure that you keep your creative mind open, because we can sometimes work with clients and kind of get into that work mode, and then we lose the creativity, and then we'll wake up and be like, what's my purpose? Like, why am I doing this for myself? Am I doing this just to make money? Like, I need to do something so that I'm creatively inclined. So sometimes I have to do things like travel, or I have to go take a painting class, or one of my friends who's another artist, she's amazing, bought me this little toy house that you can build with your hands. It's the cutest damn thing ever. And so, like, things like that are like, I don't mind things, but creative things, so that you can kind of like think outside of what you're faced with on a daily basis. So sometimes sometimes you just got to unplug and stay in the bed for 3 days, or whatever you have to do, just to kind of like reset yourself and get back on it, because you know you're a creative, you know that you love what you do, but sometimes we get caught up in, you know, this is a job, I got to do this to make money, I got bills, and then you forget like the fun part of it.
Right. I totally agree with that, because sometimes I do have to pause and be like, what am I doing this for again? Like why did I start? And then like kind of regroup and then come back to the, you know, the drawing board.
That's it.
So how do you?
It's good to have creatives around you, because nobody understands us like us, and you know, can give us that back. You know, you got to get somebody that's creative that can understand that. So
Definitely. And that's one reason I created this Friends in Beauty group. At first, it started off as networking events, but I created it for that purpose, because I was encountering like a lot of makeup artists and other people in the industry who didn't have like other beauty industry friends. And I'm like, your family of friends, they're not going to understand, unless they're like entrepreneurs or something, they're not going to understand like what you're going through in your business. So you definitely need a community of like-minded people who, you know, you can vent to and celebrate with, and, you know, all that good stuff.
So true.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed as a makeup artist, as I've grown in my business too, is that I spend a lot more time in my business, like the business side of things, than I do doing makeup. So how do you like
Yes.
efficiently run your business behind the scenes, like aside from picking up the brush?
So to me, that's the part that I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy the makeup part of it. Don't get me wrong, because that's
Mhm.
my creative outlet. But I think I grew up, my mother was an entrepreneur, and had many businesses, successful, non-successful, So I was able to literally from birth see what goes into when you get home, what you have to do, or the things that people don't see. Like I grew up seeing that, and the drive that you have to have and the push through that you have to have. I grew up seeing all of that. And the downfalls of it. I grew up seeing all that as well. So I knew that going into when I get grown, I had a feeling I wasn't gonna be able to work for nobody else. I'm a little bit of a rebel, sometimes a rebel without a cause, but I'm definitely a little rebellious. So when it comes
Uh-huh.
to working for somebody, as you heard, I get fired from every job, child. I can't work for nobody.
Yeah,
So
me.
I knew I would have to work for myself eventually. So that would mean that having your business affairs in order. And again, the logical way I think that has always been a part of it, regardless of the makeup part. Even like sticking to your prices, or making sure that you charge what you're worth, or being consistent with all clients, making sure that their invoices and the quotes that you give them, and responding to them through email versus a DM, like all those kind of things were things that kind of came second nature to me, which is kind of why I wanted to teach classes of business to professionals that are like creatively inclined, because they don't normally go hand in hand. You being creative and also being about your business. A lot
Right.
of the times artists are flaky, artists are just, woo, whatever the case, we're not really known to be like, let's do this and here this is. So that's why
Right.
I always like to kind of educate and help others based off of what I've learned and what I've experienced, what I did wrong, what I did good, stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a lot of the behind the scenes. Like I'm sitting up here looking at my tax stuff and how my accountant's like, you need to, because I do all my own payroll, I do all my bookkeeping, and how she's like, yeah, you need to get this to me before March 15th. So I'm over here doing that now.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I do like enjoy the business side of it too myself. I don't mind doing makeup, but I would say I don't enjoy doing makeup as much as I used to. I kind of like the business side and the techie side of, I don't know, the balance of it all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you, because that's where you see like the most growth to me, like to be able to have like a sustainable income, and then how to do that, and then you can take your creativity and then like create opportunities for you by knowing the business techie side.
For
Yeah.
sure. How has networking played a role in your business?
Networking is huge in my business. That's, like I said, part of the reason why I wanted to move to Atlanta, because doing makeup was one thing, but then being in an environment where you can thrive, you can meet others, you can go to these panels, you can go to these conferences, you can meet all these different people. Like to me, that's a part of it as well, because you can be so good and so talented, but if don't nobody know, and you don't express yourself or show people who you are, or pass out a business card or whatever the case, then nobody will know about it. So
Yeah.
especially in the beginning of my career, I was always attending networking events. It could be a barber event, it could be a wedding dress event, it could be an earrings event. I was always there, and I would always have my friends go with me, and I would do their makeup, so that when people was like seeing them, I'd be like, this is my walking advertisement.
Yeah.
This is her look. Do a spiritual, I would doing stuff like that, or whatever the case. With that kind of networking. And even now to this day, everything's kind of virtual, but networking is still the same. We got the Zooms, I just told you, I was just on a panel, or not a panel, but I was just on a Zoom conference thingy, whatever, last weekend. But yeah, always, that's a big thing, because that's how you can get your foot indoors of places, or your name in places that you would have never thought of.
Yeah.
People are always looking for the next best or the greatest this or whatever. So you should have your name up there with them, but you gotta open your mouth and you gotta talk to folk.
Right, right. Definitely gotta open, like closed mouths don't get fed, definitely.
Oh,
And I love networking. I'm waiting for this pandemic to, simmer down, because I like connecting with people in person. Like the virtual thing is cool, but I love just seeing people in person, giving my hugs or handshakes, or
I
just
agree.
conversation in person. And literally all of the major opportunities that I've gotten as a makeup artist have come from networking, like me just meeting somebody and then recommending me for something, or just remembering me. So I'm a big advocate for networking because I think I like social media too, but I think people rely on it too much.
I think so too, especially the younger generations. They do because that's all they know.
That's
I can recall, I don't know, I'm not sure how old you are, and I don't want to ask them if you're not sharing it, but I can recall, when you first start out having to have a literal book of your work, to be able to show your portfolio, to be able to show your work, and you have to go around and take that thing and drop off business cards and let me delete this with you, stuff like that we would have to do. That's so-called networking. Whereas now we don't have that. We can just post it on Instagram, and if you got followers and likes, then that's what it is.
Right. I'm glad you said that. So what advice could you offer to those people who, I guess, take Instagram and social media so seriously? Like they feel like they won't amount to much or be successful because they don't have the followers, or some brands like look at the followers versus like the work of the artist sometimes.
I think before anything, realize that what's for you is going to be for you. You know what I mean? Like if you are doing this and doing that and it's still not coming, I post this and I tag this brand and I do this hashtag and I got this client. Like if you're doing all of what you're supposed to do, then let it go and let God do what he has to do. Because what you don't want to do is force anything to where like you're doing so much and then you get pressed and then you all of a sudden start working with this celebrity for free, and then all of a sudden they start abusing you because they're not valuing you. Like you don't want to force yourself or be anxious to do things because of the people around you are doing what you think that they're doing. Because that's another thing. Don't take for granted that social media can be a flop and lie. Like I definitely have seen lots of smoke and mirrors. So don't look at what others are doing and compare what you're doing to what you should be doing. Whatever the case, don't compare yourself to others, and then let it go. Do what you have to do. My mother always says this: do the next best thing and leave the results to God. Like let him handle it because he gonna give you the opportunity that's for you in the first place. So do everything that you're supposed to do as far as networking, reaching out to people. If you don't have that many likes, that's okay. Build your platform if you can, but I wouldn't put so much strength on it because a lot of folks have a lot of followers, but they may not be as successful. They may not be making no money. They may not be having clients. You never know. And they won't tell you. So just do your own thing, honey. Don't worry about nobody else.
Yes, ma'am. I've seen that you have worked with a lot of celebrities. Like I always think I can tell when you do Cynthia's makeups. It just looks so good. I love reality TV, and that's one of my favorite shows, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I always feel I'm like, yeah, Alex did that makeup. It always looks so flawless. But what are some of the pros and cons, in your opinion, of like working with celebrities? Because I feel like a lot of people aspire to be celebrity makeup artists. Like people don't want to work with the regular women no more. They like, I want to be a celebrity makeup artist. So what are some of the pros, like the good and the bad?
So I get asked that question a lot from aspiring artists. Like, how can I be a celebrity makeup artist? I said, let me ask you, what is it about? Do you get paid more money as a celebrity artist? Are your bills erased because you're a celebrity artist versus a regular artist? Like, well, tell me, what is it about? And they can't never answer that. And I'm like, exactly. I said, being a celebrity artist, first of all, is a self-proclaimed thing. Like people put that on themselves. Like, I don't call myself that at all. And I work with celebrities. But like, I'm like, what is the hoopla about it? Like, if you can answer me that, then fine. But if you can't, then how about focus on being a professional makeup artist that cleans, that's on time, that gives a consistent look, and whoever gets your paint on their face gets your paint on their face. Going through this pandemic definitely taught me, because I work with Missy a lot, definitely taught me that a bird in the hand is better than one in the bush. And I don't know if people know what that means, but that means that your sure bet coin is always better than that other coin that looks cute and looks amazing and it's flashy, but it's way out there. Like, you want to secure the things that you can secure. And a lot of the times that's our everyday beautiful clients that we work with. Doctors, lawyers, everyday women, that's who they are. So I always will, no matter what celebrities I work with, I'll always be humbled by the fact that I'm going to still stay true to the everyday woman, because that's who I am. That's who I'm passionate about. Everyday women appreciate you so much more. And that's, I guess, the con with celebrities. Everyday women appreciate you so much more because they don't get makeup done all the time. So when they do get it done, it's a special occasion, and you're sharing that occasion with them, and they're so happy you're there, and they just look so beautiful. Whereas sometimes when you work with celebrities, because this is their lifestyle, it's second nature to them. It's not a, okay, I look good, thank you, okay. Like, it's not really a big to do with them.
Yeah.
And if you're not grounded, you'll take that personal, and you'll be like, what you mean it just look okay? Like, what are you talking? You know what I'm saying? So you have to, again, not take things personal. It is what it is. But I think that one of the pros with working with celebrities, and it's a fine line between celebrities and I don't know what they call them, influencers or social media celebrities. Yeah, it's a fine line because they are two totally different tax brackets, pay grades, and experiences. And so working with celebrities will allow you the exposure to things that you would have never possibly been exposed to. You know, for example, I did a Marie Claire cover. We did the VMAs, which I've always grown up watching the VMAs. So that's just that. Or doing red carpet experiences, being on television shows, movies, different things like that, that sometimes, you know, our everyday women don't get to experience, you know, just to be honest. You know, I don't know too many women that I know that are, you know, doing covers of magazines or doing red carpets every weekend or every day. Right. So you get to experience that, and you get to be able to have your work put on blast on a billboard, or have your work in a magazine, or have your work, you know, so as an artist, that's kind of like one of our, like, I wish I could do that. So to be able to experience it, you got to kind of rub elbows with some celebrities. And that's a whole nother, you know, thing as to how to do that and what to do when you're with them, and how to grow, and how can that celebrity and that celebrity get to know you. So like, that's a whole new thing. But again, it goes back to trusting what God is putting in your life, because trust and believe, when you work with celebrities, you got to be on pointy point, on point to point. So anything that are like kinks that you have right now in your business, you have to work all those out, because when it's your chance to work with these celebrities, there's no half stepping. You don't want to tarnish your name in the mud. You don't want to get blackballed. You want to be able to make the best of those opportunities. And so it's good to kind of work out your kinks. You know what I'm saying? Do the things you're like, okay, that didn't work. Like, I can't do that again. Like, do that now, so that when you get the opportunities, you'll be able to really take full advantage of them.
Is there a way that people actually go about working with celebrities, or is it just something that just kind of happens?
I've seen different ways people go about it. For me, I just allow it to happen. I do have a manager, and she suggested to reach out to some celebrities, and I'm kind of like, nah, like, I don't know. I'm torn between it, because sometimes I'm like, I want it to be an organic, you know, like, I don't want to force it, like, hey, this is Alex, and look at, like, I don't want to do all that, because you don't know if they have another celebrity or another makeup artist. You don't know anything. So I kind of like it to be like, they come to you, because that means that they're looking at you as a attribute of their, you know, brand, and they look at your talent, and they want you, versus me reaching out, and they might not even like me. I may not even know that they hate my ass, and then I got somebody reaching out on my behalf, like, get Alex, and it's like, don't do that. But I have seen different managers or agents where they reach out, or hit up their booking emails to reach out to them. Or I've seen, which is kind of thirsty, makeup artists coming on the celebrities page, be like, I want to do your makeup for free. Like, I definitely wouldn't say to do that.
Yeah.
But I've seen all kind of craziness, and I honestly just think that let it be for you who it's going to be, because you can definitely get an experience of working with celebrities, and it tarnish yourself, and it will take you down, and you will never want to do it again. So you don't want to work with the wrong celebrities and have wrong experiences, because that can really fuck you up.
Definitely. Do you think, as an artist, just working with people in general, it's good to have a diverse aesthetic, or do you think you should have like your signature, or you should be able to do everything?
I think that a little bit of all three of them. First of all, the main one I think is you should always have your signature, because your signature is what sets you apart from everybody else. You know, that's the thing where somebody can look at my before and afters or my work, like you said, and be like, I know that that's Alex's work. Like, and I can't see it. So I'm glad that you told me it, because I really can't see that that's my signature. But people can see that and know that that's your work. So if I'm not able to be tagged, or if I'm not able to respond to, they'll know that that's her work, or whatever the case. So that's dope to have that, because that means that you have this acquired look that you've mastered, that you coined, that's yours, it's unique, it's beautiful, and nobody but you can do that. And that's really dope, because out of all the artists in the world, everybody has their special gift, or their, you know, I love skin, I love eyebrows, whatever the case. It's good to get that and then like pocket that thing, because what if later on you would have come out with a skincare line because you've been known as a skincare lady, or a brow product, or whatever the case. And then I also think that it's good to be able to do it all, because you don't ever want to tell a client, oh no, I can't do that. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Like, I never in my life have said, no, I don't. And what I've had to do, like, I've been on set of Vampire Diaries. This was way in the beginning of my career. And they asked me to do something, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you don't know how to do that at all. Like what? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Give me 1 minute. Went to the bathroom, honey. Acting like I was going to the bathroom and was Googling, or I don't even know if Google was a time, but I was searching, figuring out how I can do whatever. Never say no. Like never say no. Fake it till you. I'm a fake it till you make it type person.
Okay.
Because as an artist, you gonna figure it out. And the worst case scenario is that you don't do it right, but they'll give you the feedback to how you can do it right. That's why I say do all that in the very beginning of your career, because at the end, they're gonna expect you to really know how to do it. So get all that practice out. Shadow people. Go on sets that you would never go on sets of. Do makeup that you would never do before. So yeah, I think it's definitely a signature look.
Mm-hmm.
And then also being able to do any kind of look, any type of aesthetic, any type of whatever. And it all depends on you as an artist. Like, what do you want to, what's your aspirations? Like, where do you want to go in 10 years? If you feel like I just want to do Instagram makeup, which is fine, then maybe you don't need to learn other kind of makeup because you only aspire to do Instagram makeup. You know, if you don't ever want to do someone's makeup that's at the Emmys, then you don't, you figure out what it is, your path, and then you follow the stuff along that path. If I don't want to do special effects, so I may learn the basics, but I don't need to learn how to make you look 70 versus 75, or I don't need to learn that because that's not the thing I want to do. Now I can put on a bruise, a cut, but other than that, we're gonna hire. I had to hire somebody. Like we did a Missy video, and I had to hire a special effects makeup artist team. I'm like, that ain't my ministry. That ain't what I do.
I love that. Just hire somebody to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Delegation. Because you're putting people on. Like I'm always about putting people on. And I know a great special effects team here. Even in New York, we did the VMAs. I had to hire people for the ball caps. And I didn't know, but I used my platform to reach out like, hey, are there any New York City special effects teams? And then I would go and look at their page. And so now I'm giving them an opportunity to do well. Because again, if I don't know it at this point in my career, then I can still be able to stand strong in who I am as an artist and still keep my job. But then it looks amazing to be able to have a team of people that support you, that can do those great things that you may not be so great to do, that you should probably stay over there and do that and not stress yourself to do this over here.
Right. I love that. How did you go about monetizing your influence as a makeup artist? I know you've done work for, you were the product beauty director for Black Radiance and everything.
Yes.
How did you go about doing that?
That was such a great experience because it was solely based on social media. Well, in the beginning, I did Cynthia's makeup for a reunion, and you know how like you do a product breakdown of some things. I don't do it very often because now I'm like, you gonna have to pay me, but I did a product breakdown of some of the products that I use on her, and I hashtag Black Radiance because I love their powders. I use them for contouring. And I love their eyeliner, their gel eyeliner. And so I hashtagged them and tagged their products. And so I didn't know that their team was looking for a makeup artist for their product reveal or their campaign. And so they were looking, they searched the hashtags and found me, wasn't following me, didn't know nothing about me, I'm sure, and searched the hashtags and found my page. And then they reached out and I thought it was spam. I thought they were lying. I didn't believe it. Like, you found me on Instagram. Like,
right.
What? Okay. So found out that it was a legit thing, and we did the product campaign. That was 2019. We did the 2020 campaign, and it's been such a great experience. They roll out the red carpet for their makeup artists, and they pay you well, and then they allow the exposure, and then they want you to be your creative self, which is, this is what we want to do, but just you take it there. Like, so you really get to be able to experience it. So when I go to Walgreens or Target and I see my work, it's like, oh, this is dope. Like, I really appreciate it. But I'm glad that I always stay true to myself, because imagine if, they came to my page, and nothing wrong with having it just makeup. There's nothing wrong with that at all, but that's not me. Mm-hmm. By me being the personality that I am, they saw more than a makeup artist. So they hired me for the campaign, and that was dope. Both years were dope. But then they were like, let's take it a step further. You're very vocal. Let's do a makeup artist talks campaign, to where you and other artists will start to doing different talks, and we'll do different events in different cities, and we'll do the things on the YouTube page. So it's like they created this whole other realm, because they saw how powerful it is for makeup artists to be kind of in the forefront nowadays. Like, we're not just behind the scenes anymore. Mm-hmm. We're actually, speaking, looking beautiful, and in cameras or whatever the case. So they use that opportunity to be able to create this whole nother thing with me that they would have never thought, I would have never thought, but it was off of me being who I am and how I do things, and the personality that they wanted to grow with. So that was really, really dope. And that was even an amazing experience, because we had a big event here. We had one in New York too, but we had a really, really big event here. That was so, it was awesome. It was huge. It was dope.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting to know that they found you on social media, because a lot of times people really think that people apply for these things, and that's a thing too. But it's really organic a lot of the times, but it just happens. It's like no way.
It's a lot of who you know and not what you know. You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, it's the experiences. It's people probably ask about you around town, like, okay, how is it to work with Alex? You know, whatever the case. It's things like that that set you apart from just being a dope makeup artist. Because I've met so many dope makeup artists that may not have as much personality, or they may not be able to hold a conversation, or, you know, whatever the case. And that, you have to learn those social interaction skills as well. Because like I said, nowadays, I was on Lifetime's Glam Masters. Like, they want to see artists in action. They don't want to just see you behind the scenes. They want to talk to you. They want to know what you damn wearing. Like, they want to get you involved, and it will open you up for so many other opportunities by kind of like learning how to interact and be social with people.
How was your experience on the show?
That was fun. I have never in my life, and probably never will unless I do a show like that again. I have never experienced anything like that before. I watched competition. Like, I like reality TV. I love reality TV as well. So watching that competition, or not that competition, watching any competition show, like, gears me up. Like, I get excited, I get revved up. And so knowing that that was going to be that type of show, but it was in a space where I was one of the contestants, and it was with makeup, I got really like, oh my God, like, and then not to know what to expect is like the crazy thing. But you're like, I know I can figure whatever else out I need to figure as far as the task. So, but it's like, it's so exciting, girl. They cut the heat on in the room. They literally really give you an hour. So like, I was sweating. Like, I had to take off my jacket. Like, it was a mess, but they create the drama in it. But it's so fun because it's like, it's not, at the end of the day, it's fun. It's not life or death. Like, you're not gonna die if you don't win. Like, so it was an experience to be able to showcase your talents, to meet these dope judges and other artists, and to see yourself on television doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it was really, it was long. It was long. Yeah. We had very long 16, 18, 19-hour days.
Right.
Yes, girl, because it makes it look like it's all one day because I had on the same outfit, but it's filmed in several days. So I would have to come back and put on the same outfit. That's why on one of my little pills, I had makeup all over because I can't, it was literally the next day that I had to, you know, do it. And we filmed it in LA. So it was a whole experience, but it was dope. How it ended was how it ended, and I should have won. But it was a great experience. I have my own little innuendos about why and what happened with that. But it was a great experience, and I would encourage anyone to push themselves to get exposure like that. Because I mean, it was on Lifetime. Kim Kardashian was the executive producer. Like, what? It was dope.
That's dope. That's dope. What's one of your proudest moments so far in your career?
This is a good question I get asked, but I got a different answer for it this time. You get the exclusive. I think the dopest thing in my career is that I have been able to successfully sustain working for myself full-time for almost now going on 10 years. And that's not how long I've been doing makeup, because that's a long time. But to work for myself, to not have to do anything that is not in my character, to not sell myself, because this industry is a lot of people do that, to not have to do any of that, and to stay true to who I am, and to sustain a lifestyle for me, for my husband, for my doggy, and still to look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I look at we take trips, we enjoy each other. I'm able to, like, you know, just live a lifestyle that I always wanted, not balling out of control. Like, that's definitely not the case, but like a safe, comfortable, sustainable, beautiful lifestyle to where I'm really, really happy. I keep good people around me. I turn down jobs that I don't want to do, and I do jobs that I do. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to do that for as long as I've been doing it, and granted, I have a lot more years to go, but I literally can say I was working for myself solely just from these hands since 2012. And to me, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because it can be a struggle sometimes. Yeah. You know, on another day, you may ask me this again, I may not say this, but today, I feel like, you know, it's dope to be able to know that you can provide for your family, you know, whether it's your beautiful home or beautiful cars or just food on the damn table and lights on. You can do that based off of something that you love to do, and pick and choose and still be able to sustain a lifestyle. Like, that's dope to me. Like, regardless of if I work for any other celebrity or any other whoever later on in my life, the fact that I was able to do this, and I've been like a beacon for my family, because I come from a family that don't have a whole lot. They wasn't doing a whole bunch. We went through a lot growing up, and so to be able to be that family member, to be able to like, look at how Alex is doing. Your little cousin be like, I looked up to you this whole time. Like, that stuff is dope to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Now, I saw that you got to work on Coming to America, the new one that's coming out.
Yes.
What was that like? Oh my gosh, that's about to be epic.
Girl, and it was okay. So so I when you work on those type of sets, those are union sets. And so I have experience of working on many union sets, but I'm not in the union.
Okay.
And so if anyone knows about that, most times you have to be in the union to even be on the property. So when I got reached out to by the key makeup artists for Coming to America, who I didn't even knew who I was, asking me if I could come and day play with them for, it starts out as, okay, you come on this day. And then depending on how you do, they ask you to come back the next day, whatever the case. And so I think he heard, because I don't think he did know about me, to be honest with you. I think he heard about me through somebody else. Again, networking, word of mouth. They knew that I work with celebrities. And so it's not featured yet, but the clients that I worked with on that first week are some special celebrities that are shown on this movie that they have not advertised at all. So I can't even say it.
Yeah.
But they know that working with celebrities and then just working is a total different thing. How you have to cater to them, how you have to, and I have that experience. So bringing on me and several other of us, several other makeup artists, they knew that we would be able to accommodate for those celebrities that are being featured on this film. So that was the first week, or whatever the case. So it was so amazing, because working on set, it's not glamorous at all. Like at all. Like you're not wearing no makeup, you wearing whatever can keep you warm, you closed toe shoot. Like it's not cute at all. But it was dope to be around so many makeup artists, so many creatives, because on a lot of those scenes, it's like a million people in the damn scene, like a million of the dancers or whatever the case. So we're all working together and we're coming up with these looks, and you're working really fast, like do makeup in 15, 20 minutes. So it's a real fast paced environment, but then it's fun because you're on this set and they take good care of you, girl. We filmed at Tyler Perry Studios, the new one. So that was already dope. The food they give you, because look, my hungry ass, the food was amazing. They give you food, like food.
Yes, I love it.
10 different stands. You got the Italian stand, you got the, and I'm just like, give me a piece of everything in here, like, get back to work. Wait a minute, let me get my food first. So that was a dope experience. Working in the trailers, of course, is dope. Working with the different clients. We sat next to Wesley Snipes. Like, he was sitting there eating lunch with us. Wesley. Like, what the hell? So like that was just eye-opening to me. And it's just dope to be able to, like, like I said, living your truth and living who you are, and then people recognize it that you don't even recognize it. And then they reach out and they look out for you. And so to see my work, I took great pictures. I can't wait till it comes out March 5th, I believe. I'm hoping now, the department head, who I love, Merce, she's amazing. She told us, either her or Trent told us, that our names will be in the credits. I don't know.
It should be, right?
Well, because it was a whole lot of us makeup artists. And on each week, because they filmed it for a long time. I was only there for like 2 to 3 weeks. So they filmed a lot of scenes, and I'm not sure who they cycled through. So it would be a lot to list all the makeup artists. I don't know. But because I work with the special talent, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I was there.
We know you was there.
I got pictures to prove it. Okay. Hello. So that was a great experience. Like that was one of the dopest experiences I've ever had. And I pray, even though I don't want to be union right now, because to me it's just like a job, and me and jobs are just oil and water. I don't want to be union, but I enjoy day playing and having that different experience when you go on a union set, because it's totally different than like a Housewives of Atlanta set, or totally different than like flying with a special, your special client, and traveling with them. It's totally different experiences.
I like that term, day playing. I want to day play.
That's what they call it. They call it day playing when you're on set and you're not a union member, and they need you for the day. Because most of the times they call artists into day play when their whole union list of artists are unavailable. They're working on other things. So then they'll jump off of that, because they got a literal list.
Yeah.
They'll jump off of that list, and then they'll reach out to artists that they know in the city, or artists that they have heard of in the city, and then they go from there. So they'll probably research you, they'll look you up, see what you've done before, see how you carry yourself, and then go from there.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned the food, because I wouldn't consider myself a foodie, but That's what I always tell people. Like when I first started doing makeup and I got to assist like Morel and Danessa and stuff, I
Mhm.
always used to tell people, I'm like, well, when we do photo shoots here, what do they order? Pizza or
Right.
something. I don't even eat pizza anymore most of the time on set because of that reason. I'm like, I don't want to get fat, but going to these big productions, they had the craft services and they had real food. I was like, yes, this is the life I'm trying to live.
I'm
Like,
telling you, they keep and then when you're working with certain people, they get their writers, so they get certain foods and they get these special things and they dressing rooms and they can't eat all. So I'm like, you gonna eat all? You gonna have all that? Can I take some of this with me? Because I know you're not gonna take it all home. Like you get all those like different experiences, but yeah, the food is a big thing because I don't want to eat no more pizza and sandwiches. I want me some salmon. Yep, I do.
yes, I love it.
Yes.
So, in what ways have you seen the beauty industry change over your duration in it?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. It what I've seen change is now artists aren't valuing themselves. Like artists aren't looking at themselves as luxury service providers because that's what we are. We
Mhm.
provide a service that's not a necessity. We provide a service that is almost not vain, but it allows you to look good for a time because it comes off, and that basically means that we are used when it's go time, like when it's a special occasion or it's a special event. So that
Mhm.
means a special service. So with it being a special service, it's going to have a special cost to it. You have special skills to give a special service.
Mhm.
And with us being these type of artists, we have to value ourselves as that, as being able to provide a special service that nobody else can do. The precision, the kits, all that stuff that we do, nobody else can do that when it comes to being a professional makeup artist. And so that should reflect on your rate.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, now with where artists are going with our industry, is that people just want the opportunity and they want to do anything to get the opportunity. And that may mean taking their price down or offering services for free or becoming friends with the clients or being at the club with them or being the masseuse to the client when you're the makeup artist or like all kind of crazy shit that I've noticed that it makes it hard for us because then those celebrities will expect that from the you and the me and the whoever else when it's like, no, ma'am, I don't know what type of fooly wang you was dealing with, but this ain't what it is over here at all. I'm gonna do your makeup and I'm gonna go. So it's like we have to separate the two. It's dope to be kikiing and hanging out and as far as on set goes. But you
Mhm.
leave it at that. Like, I definitely am not one to intermingle my professional side with my business, with my pleasurable side. I have a group of friends that are my friends. I have a husband. So that's where I get that from. And then when it comes to work, that's that. And they never really cross. Now, of course, you attend events. Like when I did Cynthia's wedding, I attended the wedding. Um,
Mhm.
I worked with Gabrielle Union before. I stayed over to help her with. So you do the extra mile things that are still within your realm, but when it
Right.
comes to the outside of that, that's where lines get blurred, and that's when the expectations get like lowered, almost in my opinion. And it's hard for you as an artist to go back to, wait a minute, I'm not your friend, I'm an artist. They're gonna be like, well, you were just at the club with me yesterday, so
Right.
we're friends. So
Mhm.
you have to be very, very careful with that. But I've noticed that a lot of the younger artists now are just kind of like throwing it out the window, honey. They're doing whatever they got to do to get these clients,
Mhm.
um, posting crazy stuff. It's kind of thirsty to me, and it's not going to get you anywhere. It may get you somewhere at that moment, but it's not going to have longevity in your career at all,
Right.
in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah. Excuse me. What advice can you offer to other beauty pros on like knowing their worth and like setting their rates accordingly? Because I think a lot of times people just pull numbers from wherever I guess they compare, I guess what the going rate is in their city and try to find like a middle ground or try to work. But how can they actually go about doing that where it's like beneficial for them and standing in it and knowing like they're worth, that rate?
So it's pretty easy. It's actually really, really simple. And I taught several business classes over the summer, and one of them was on pricing, and how to come up with your rate and how to determine, your expenses versus your income. It is literally expenses versus income. Okay.
Mhm.
If you have a certain amount of expenses, let's say for you to operate your business per month, it takes $500 worth of products. You got a studio that's $1,000 a month. You have to buy a light, you have to have gas, you have to have the internet connection, you have to have lights on, you have to have all these things that are expenses in order for you to just run your business.
Right.
So whatever you do as far as income goes, the income has to at least cover the expenses. So what I make has to at least cover that. And then when you look at that, you're like, well, I don't want to just break even. Like, I don't want to just be working to break even. I want to have a little extra on top of that, so I can get me a nice purse, so I can, go on a trip, or I can, instead of the poop hut car, I want to get a nicer car. So like, then it's like, then you have to almost look at the fact of, I can't just cover my expenses. I want to live better than this. I want to put some money away for retirement. I want to do whatever the case you want to do. So then you have to look at what you're doing, your clients. If I have to do 2,000 clients a week to be able to cover that, then that may mean I probably need to charge these people more so that I don't have to do as many clients.
Right.
So imagine you have to do 10 clients at $50 a person. That's $500. Versus you doing 5 clients at $100 a person. That's $500. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference in perspective. Do you want to work harder for the same amount that you can work smarter for? I don't know. Nobody want to do that, because as much as I work, I want to enjoy my life. Like, I don't want to have to be, okay, I got 10 more clients. I don't want to do that at all, because how do you enjoy that? So that's another thing. You want to charge a rate. And then on top of that, look at your industry. And people always ask me this, look at your industry, look at the city that you live in. Unfortunately, there are some cities that may not have a base rate of $250 or $100 or whatever the case. And I get that. But I think that we have to control that as artists. Again, we're luxury service providers. So why not, if you're living in Birmingham, you get together with all the top Birmingham artists, or all the artists for that matter, because who's top, who's bottom, whatever, and say, look, y'all, as a city, we need to be at $100 a person. And if all of us are at $100 per person, which you should all want to be at, a good amount, then how is somebody going to go to somebody else and pay $50? They just can't, because who going to make them $50 if we all charging $100?
Right.
So you have to kind of take the initiative to lead the industry, because it's going to do nothing else but hurt you later on in the long. Because it's not, my clientele is not that, so I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Right. But you will hurt yourself, because the moment that you try to jump out of that $50 rate to the $250 rate, they're like, no, girl, you was $50. I'm paying $50 because I don't care what you know. You was $50, okay?
Right.
They're not going to respect you as an artist, and they're not going to value your worth. So you have to look at your end goal. Do you want to just be a $50 makeup artist? If you do, then keep going, sis. Keep doing it. But if you ever want to aspire to these things that we aspire to, it's going to be a gradual process, and it's going to always be understanding and knowing and valuing your worth. And that's it.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy you said that. I always used to tell my students, like, don't start off with a low rate. Like, because it's going to be hard to raise it, and you're going to lose people, which is fine. You're going to lose people. But don't start off with that low rate, because it's going to be hard to sustain it. You're just going to look crazy at the end of the day, trying to jump from, like you said, $50 to like $250. They were right. Yeah.
And another thing I tell them too, and this is just a general number, if you can't charge, and this is for just starting out folks, and I would have told myself this as well. If you can't start out doing $100 a face makeup, and you feel like, okay, well, I'm not good enough, or my kids aren't ready enough, or I just don't feel comfortable, go for free. Charge nothing. Let that be practice. Let that be time for you to really culminate into your artistry, work out any kinks, build up your confidence. Just do it for free at this point, because then you'll get up enough courage, you'll get up enough, stamina, whatever the case, to then be like, okay, now it's time. Because you don't want to come in too low, because then it's going to look bad amongst artists. Because I'm like, I don't even respect her as an artist, because she's trying to take out our industry. Right. So call it practice in the beginning if you have to, and that's fine. I've done a lot of practice. I've done a lot of cheap. I've done a lot of free, and I think that makes you humble, of course, because then you start to get really hungry and you want it, and so you will go from free to $100 versus free to $20, $25. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, start off with free, get all the practice out the way, get all the kinks worked out. That way, you as an artist can be a professional and at least charge triple digits for some makeup.
Definitely. And that's why too, and I think it depends on like your mindset, or knowing that you can even charge that, your confidence and your mindset of that. And then the topic that exploded like a couple of weeks ago with the girl talking about 150 or whatever, I was like, that doesn't even apply to me, because it's people who pay that and more for my services. So obviously she's not my client. Like, she's not the person who I would even pull out a brush for or whatever.
That's why I wouldn't even, I commented on a couple of those comments just because everybody's like, Alex, what do you think? But that's not even a conversation that I want to be involved in. It has nothing to do with me.
It doesn't.
And I know people got on Clubhouse and they did a lot with the Clubhouse thing, and I'm not on Clubhouse at all, but people they took it personal and they felt attacked, and they would say, you know, well, this is I'm not giving you that energy, girl. You're right, sis. 150 artists should go to hell. You're right, and I will go straight to hell.
Right, and be like,
in hell. Hey, I'm in hell. Yep. You're not arguing with me for that. No, you learn. Like I said, you learn not to take things personal. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. She had that opinion, and that's her opinion. Cool, sis. Okay, and you'll continue to look and see. You'll continue to look how you look. That's fine.
Has there ever been a situation so far that like tested you and made you realize that you were worth more than the situation that you were in? Because I know it's normally things that happen. It's like, oh no, next time this happened, ain't no way.
Absolutely. On the daily. But I would say I learned later on that it's important to have management or to have somebody that represents you other than yourself. Okay. Because what I've realized, especially working with like big brands like Pepsi or, you know, whatever, big ass brands, if you're the one that's negotiating the rate, you're the one that's sending the invoice, you're the one that's following up to where the invoice is, like, it's like, are you the artist or are you the manager? And it's hard for you to become the artist and be artist talk and like, okay, let's create, and then jump into, okay, I got to argue you back and forth, or I got to send this or a deal memo. I got to do all that. Like, it's really hard to go back and forth, and you'll end up regretting or resenting, you know, the whole experience. And you don't want that. You want to enjoy your experience. So I had to learn about a year or two ago to hire a manager to have her make sure she goes through all of that. And then that way, you know, when you're with the artist, you can be like, oh, my manager said what? Oh, girl, you got to take that over her. You know, I'm just here to do, I just came here to dance. What's that from Players Club? You remember that movie? Yeah. I just came here to dance for y'all. Like, that's it. So that's a really important thing, because you learn that, like, people will take advantage of you. People will give you some smoke and mirrors and some shade over your eyes and tell you this and do that and all that kind of stuff. And a manager doesn't have to be like, hi, I'm here to do your makeup today. They don't have to, they can just be like in this email, like, per the email, this is what it is. Like, they can do that, because you don't ever want them to look at you as being difficult, which I have been definitely labeled as difficult because I was doing both. And I'm like, no, you're gonna pay me my rate, like, and I'm gonna do your makeup and we're gonna be good. And it's like, for them, they're like, well, wait a minute, like, how you gonna be that assertive and you're the makeup artist? And it's like, okay, you know what? Let's just separate it then. That's fine. And in the beginning, honey, I would have to make my own email as the manager behind the email until I had a manager, and I was the manager. Like, okay, man, right? You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I say, fake it till you make it, because they really will respect that manager versus you being the one doing it.
Right. Is having a manager different from like PR?
Absolutely. So a PR is like an agent. PR and agencies are looking to get you work. They're reaching out to, you know, magazines, or they know people who know people, and they're getting you these jobs. Whereas a manager, to me, is the one that's going to make sure that your contracts are in order. They're going to make sure that your invoices are paid on time. They're going to be the ones to put together your deal memos or your whatever thing that you have to have. They're going to look out for you. And they're going to maybe push you to get more money perhaps as well. And so I feel like a manager also is an employee of yours. I feel like a PR person may be more of an independent contractor, whereas managers could be independent contractor, but more than likely you probably have them on payroll, because every time you get a job, you're getting paid by them. And whether or not it came from your agency or whether from yourself, like, they're going to get paid a percentage. But I feel like managers are the ones that will be able to handle your emails if you need to, or your calls, or being able to just handle the things that you don't damn feel like doing.
Right.
Thank you. I think that's important. And you make sure you get them their percentage on top of whatever your rate's going to be too, so that you get your money.
Yeah. So what's next for you? Got anything coming up?
Well, so the pandemic has taught me a lot. It slowed me down a lot, which I feel like I needed for sure. Because I feel like I was doing a lot and traveling and didn't know up from down. And I started to be honest with you, lose myself as an artist, because if you have a personal client that you travel with and you do a lot of things with, a lot of the times you're just doing what they have you do, and you don't really get your creative spin on things, or your solace in doing things. And so I feel like the pandemic slowing everybody down and stopping people from working allowed me to fall back into myself. Like I started getting on my healthy journey of working out and eating right. I started to spend more time with my husband, started to do things that I really enjoyed doing, and really finding yourself, because you can go and go and go in this industry, and then you'll look up and you'll be like, it's 5 years later, and like, what did I do for myself? You know, besides make money, but that ain't enough.
Right.
That's what the pandemic taught me. It also taught me that God is in control. It reminded me of that. It doesn't matter that you have this client that you've been working with forever and you do this and you do that. A lot of the times we'll give that a lot of, oh my God, if I don't have so-and-so, then what I'm gonna do? Like if I don't work this, how I'm gonna make some money? And God be like, girl, would you calm down? I got you.
I got this.
Nobody else got that much power. You don't give nobody else that much power over your life, over your finances when I got you. So relax, sit down, get this unemployment, get these SBA loans and these PPP loans, and sit down somewhere and handle your business. So it taught me that. And it also taught me, I want to be able to help others with their business more. So like I said, I did the whole business class thing over the summertime, which was awesome. Now I want to make it into a tangible thing to where I have workbooks and I have things that be able to help folks, outside of just having a face-to-face, whatever, like something they can take with them to build their brand up. So I want to do that as well. So yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of me branching out into the health world because I've discovered more of that. So I kind of want to do some things with that. And then just letting God take me. I've been putting good energy and feels out there to be able to get some great opportunities with people and work with different brands and stuff like that.
Nice. That's awesome. We'll look forward to seeing all of it. I definitely started working out during quarantine. I was like, I'm not coming out of quarantine fluffy because
what's wrong with being fluffy?
It's not, but I was just like, I just seen so many people like gain like a lot of weight like over quarantine just from whatever reasons. Maybe they're depressed or just in the house. But I gotta exercise. I was not exercising like at all.
Well, it helps that, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. It's for me, it's not a physical thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can recall having so much pressure growing up of being fit or being in shape or don't gain weight. Like that's a lot of maybe our family members putting that on us because it was put on them. I don't know, whatever the case. And so a lot of the times we go through things like, I don't want to be fluffy. I don't want to be big. I don't want to be fat. Not knowing that maybe God had you at that body because the strength or the width or the girth of you needed to withstand things or whatever. I gained a lot of weight when I was taking care of my grandmother because I literally was taking care of her, like physically picking her up and stuff. And if I wasn't as strong as I was, I wouldn't be able to lift up this 200 and some pound woman at all. Right. So sometimes God puts us in positions where it's not even a bad thing that you gain weight. More than anything, it's a focus on your health. So like I told you, when I said focusing on my health, it wasn't about me losing weight. It was more so like, I want to make sure that my heart is strong, my lungs are strong, I'm building muscles that can protect my organs. If I lose weight, cool. If I don't, then I don't really give a shit. It was never about weight for me. And I had to learn that as well. That'll come. I've been all sizes, and all of them I rocked the hell out of, whatever size I was. But it's about your health, making sure that you can stay here longer than, most people. So that's what you focus on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I've learned so much that I could definitely carry over into my business and everything. I love listening back into the episodes and just collecting all of the gems and everything. But before you go, I have to ask you the Friends and Beauty rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So, whatever comes to your mind first, just, let me have it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the first one, what are your top 3 keys to your success so far?
Faith in God, unwavering faith in God, my core support system, and my ultimate creativity.
Nice. How do you measure your success?
I measure my success by the influence and the feedback that I get from people in my industry or just aspiring women that want to do great things. Like, even if they're not makeup artists, they could be just a 15-year-old high school student. And when they say, hey, I noticed that you did this and that, like, I appreciate that because I really needed that inspiration. Like, that's how I measure me as being successful. It has nothing to do with money or purses or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm. What's the best advice you've ever received?
File your taxes and pay the people.
I know that's right.
Best. I wish I would have known more about it earlier on. I mean, I got it now, but like, whew, yeah, that's the best advice because they will come for your ass.
I said, don't play with Uncle Sam, honey.
Don't.
What advice would you give to someone who's just ready to give up on their dreams of being in the beauty industry?
You could be right there at the door of it and you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally be right on the edge of your brink and your breakthrough and you don't even know it. And all the hard work and all the sacrifice and all the tears and the struggles literally could be your last tear and your last struggle, and you would have made it to the finish line had you just gave it one more day. So think about it as you got one more day and get through that day and then see about on the next day how you feel.
Nice. What's a resource that has helped you in your business that you could share with the Friends in Beauty community?
Instagram is a resource that has definitely helped me because it's free social media. It's free social marketing. Like, why not use it and post all the time and showcase this and get you some more business? Like, why not?
And the last one, I want you to fill in the blank. I want you to say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is whatever you think it is.
Okay. My name is Alexandra Butler, and the key to longevity and success is having a very, very personal relationship with God and having very, very, very unwavering faith.
Nice. I love it. Share your social media information so people can keep up with you.
Absolutely. So you can follow me on Instagram at the MUA Alex. My website, www.themuaalex.com, will be able to house everything that you need. I'm not on TikTok. I tried a TikTok the other day. I saw that. It was a struggle. And that's Facebook is, well, you can get all that on my website. You can just go to the website and it'll take you everywhere you need to go. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate this so much. And I know the Friends in Beauty community is going to love this interview too.
Absolutely. I appreciate you all having me. It feels nice and warm and cozy being with my friends in beauty. And I thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you.
You're welcome, boo.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this episode with at least one friend in beauty, and subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts so that other friends in beauty can find this show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, #Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.